Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Review.
So AEG had this great idea. Let's bring out a game called Trains and not support it. But in order to support it, we're going to bring out two other games called Planes and Automobiles because people will think it's funny, right? Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Remember the movie with John Candy and Steve Martin? Hilarious! So that's how we ended up with this game. So we got the Trains game, which is a pretty good deck builder, but not supported. We got Automobiles, which is a decent racing game, not supported. And we got Planes, which was supported with an expansion. Woohoo! This is where we're at. Planes is Mancala, right? You're going around the board, you're trying to load the planes up as efficiently to score the most amount of points. If too many cubes are on a spot, it's going to get clogged up. Ooh, put that cone down, which is a really cool component, to be honest. And you're going to go through that. Very light, very easy to teach, very easy to play. And it has that same kind of art style, that same kind of look that Trains and Automobile has. And you could really put these all together. I think even at one point they were going to sell all the expansions together. So if you had to get the Planes expansion, you had to buy the Trains and the Automobile. I could be wrong on that, but I think that was the plan at one time. And that didn't go over well, right? Board gamers are not going to go for that. So Planes is Mancala with a little bit extra. So that's pretty much what you're getting. I'm not sure people were clamoring for that Mancala thing. I've seen some other games. I think there was a Forge game that came up a few years ago that had that. And they keep trying to retry this every so often. And it works, I think, as a subset of the game. And Mancala is really fun, right? But I'm not sure it's going to be enough to hold a gamer's interest today. This game was okay, mediocre at best. I think it rose up a little bit based on the connection to the two other games, which were better. This is the weaker of the three. It was okay. I'm kind of surprised they got an expansion, to be honest. Maybe it didn't need it, but it's okay. The game's mediocre. Try it before you buy this one. It's a purge for me. So here is Planes. You can see it's a small box. And then when you open it up, you will get a gigantic rule book, which we'll take a look at in a few. And then kind of an oversized box. Even though everything fits in really nicely, you can tell this whole spot over here really isn't needed. You do have a nice insert. If you look, your finger can go right in here. We'll take a look at the board in a second. And everything that you need is right in here. These are your player aids. They look like plane tickets, which is very nice. Has everything on here that you need. And they fit in here perfectly. You're going to get a bunch of cards. If you look down here in the corner, it'll tell you what color it is, the victory points, the action, and the end of game. There'll be 15 for each person. Then you get these little neat little planes. This is where the components start to get really cool. They're double-sided, so you can use these during the game that you'll be loading. You're going to get these little blockage things that you'll see like with wet floors and stuff at an airport. These are really, really, really neat components. And then you're going to have just cubes that you'll be utilizing there in the game. This is what you're going to be moving around. Instead of little miniatures or little people, you have these cubes that you'll be moving. And then any number of little tokens and tiles that you'll be using. And they're nice, but fairly generic with the signage that are on them. That's the components. I have to say the components are really good in some aspects. I like this, and I like these. But the cubes are a little meh. But the little tickets for the player aids are good. So overall, I have to say they knocked this one out of the park. Great job. Here's the rule book. You can tell it's a big square that you're going to have. When you open it up, you're going to see a picture of all the components over here, which is much appreciated. And then you have a setup with a picture and a how to play, a really quick overview. Then it breaks everything down a little bit more. And you start to see lots of pictures and examples. Got to say, it's an excellent, excellent rule book that you'll have here. How to win the game. That list of rule clarifications are easy to forget rules. And then it'll go through each card that's in the game and kind of tell you what it does. And then some optional rules and rules for a shorter game if you so choose. Then this is just gibberish over here with the credits and a reference sheet on the back. I like this rule book quite a bit. Excellent job. Here's the game board. The first thing you'll notice is this has the kind of a figure 8 going on. And that's the more advanced side of the board. Then you'll have the general side of the board that you'll start on when you're starting to play. So it does give you two boards because this is double-sided. So this is how the game will be set up. You'll have all the players' cubes on the players 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 black ones on each one. Down here will be your turn tracker. If these end up getting on the planes, you'll move this up 1. So if it ever reaches 12, the game will end, or if a plane is full. Here's the game all set up. Down here you have a tracker. If a cube ever lands on one of the planes, this tracker will move up. If 12 cubes are on planes, it will end the game. You will have the players on the 1, 2, 3, 4 sections, and the black ones you'll add 2 to each one. You have the plane set up. If it is a player playing the game, you will have it on the star side. That will give you victory points. Otherwise, if it's a player who's not playing, it will be on the draw 2 side. So that's what the game board will look like. In addition, each player will get a deck of cards with their color in the left corner. This will be shuffled up, and this will be the deck of cards they'll be playing with throughout the game. First thing you do on a turn is you can play a card for an action. Ignore blockages or score a card. Move any 2 of your party to a fine dining restaurant. These icons will be on the board, so if you played this card, you can move 2 of your people to any location with that symbol, and I would just move it there. And there's one down here also on the board. This one says draw 2 cards in your hand and discard 1. Gather all your party together at a fast food restaurant. Move twice. So these will allow you to break the rules, and you're allowed to play one of these at the beginning of your turn. The next thing you do is make one move. And that's very simple. You pick up all of the cubes from one spot, and just like Mancala, you put them out until it ends at that point. And then the third thing you can do is you can score the bottom of one of these cards and do the little scoring and put it in front of you. So if this occurs, you're going to get 1 point. So if you feasted at a fine dinner restaurant, you can play this and you would get 3 victory points at the end of the game. If at least one of the cubes are at a fast food restaurant, you get 1 point. And at least one is asked a question at a help desk, you would get 2 victory points. So at the beginning of the turn, you can play this for action. You can move, you can play a different card to score, and that's your turn. So what else is going on here? So I showed you how you can move once. You can also move if you wanted to, and just place 1 down, and whatever's remaining in your hand, you can put into a situation like that. If a spot on the board ever gets 7 cubes on it, you will put one of these blockage tokens on it, and that means nobody can pass this location until this blockage has been. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to get your cubes onto your plane. And if it comes this way, you can come here and this will give you 5 victory points if it is. If a black one comes through, it can be placed on the neutral ones, and that allows you to draw 2 cards. And what you'll be doing as the game progresses, let's see if I can get this to work. And then I have 1 left over, which would come on here. And every time a cube is put on here, this moves up. So in this case, 1, 2, 3, it would move up to 3. If a plane's ever full or it gets to 12, at the end of the game, then you count up how many victory points you have, and the game will end. Who should buy this game? If you have trains and you have automobiles and you want to complete the joke on your shelf, this is an absolute way to get it. Mancala is one of your favorite games, and you like that mechanism, and you want to add that into your collection and have a game centered around that. I think that works here. Or if you just like the theme. I actually liked the theme of the planes and trying to fill them up with people. I liked it quite a bit. The game didn't hold my interest enough. I don't think it had that lasting appeal. It was mediocre at best. But that theme really elevates something different, something neat, something interesting. And it elevates the game above where it should be. For me, this is going to be a Purge.